ladies and gentlemen, this morning we are going to unload the first load of beans. So I'm gonna just turn this fan on. You gotta jump to do it, so. Working. The reason why we run the soybeans through a screener is because it'll screen out any weed seeds that were out there, or just any little, maybe little, I don't know, maybe little sticks. It won't get a lot of the big ones, but it gets a lot of the, as you can see up in there, all the weed seeds are coming out. So that really helps. Foxtail seed, water hemp seed, that stuff likes to collect in the grain tank with the soybeans, right? Those are wet still, and those can affect the moisture of the beans. And we're using these soybeans in livestock feed. We're roasting them and then putting them in livestock feed, so they need to be clean. So we screen them to get any weed seeds out. All right, I just walked back up, took the wagon up to the field up there. And I'm gonna run the combine out there, and so my brother can, because he's on his way back home right now, and he's gonna jump in the combine, and we're gonna get started on bean harvest day number 3. So, all right, we're taking end rows off this right here. Combine's right there, and we got the neighbors over here combining their beans. Case IH 2588, Macdon Draper. John Deere 9400, 915 bean head right there. Case Steiger. And then dumping beans into a Parker. Soybeans. Let's get them in the same shot. There's our combine up there. So for those of you that are not familiar with the channel, you know last year we had a really bad weed problem in our soybeans. Well, as you can see this year, the problem is nowhere near as bad as it was last year. But this year we did have some issues on our end rows on this field. There's a significant amount of foxtail. Apparently that was pretty common this year with a lot of organic, non-GMO guys. Even a lot of GMO guys had the same problem. I've seen a lot of GMO fields this year where the spray didn't work, and there is water hemp everywhere. There's some pretty bad water hemp soybeans. So we're actually pretty good on hemp this year, just except for that spot down there. But it looks pretty good. This is going to be it's going to be a lot easier to harvest these beans than it was last year because of the less weeds. So that is a plus right there. So the stuff we did this year definitely worked. But, you know, can only do so much, really. But it's definitely better. It's getting better. As you can see right here, they look really good. But yeah, these things they're ready. They're crackling. Pretty good. There comes the combine. Also, this is the corn we're raising. This stuff's basically ready to harvest. They're just letting it dry down more while they get beans done. That looks pretty good. Oh, here comes the combine. Again, I'll show you it come by. Wagon's full. Let's reset the manual. Right there. Go up. All right, here we go. We're going down the road. Full load of soybeans into Big Partner 705. load number 2. All right, wagon's empty. So I'm gonna run back out to the field. We'll see if we do much more tonight, but we'll get it out there because he's got something he wants to dump. All right. This 8310 is a good wagon tractor. That's why it's my favorite to use. Look at that nice sunset. So we got from there all the way to there and all the end rows done, so it's just main rows left. There's a couple different plots here. Let me explain here. So he just finished up one plot. There were a couple different sections we had split this field split up into. A couple of them were ones, there were small sections on this end. They were experimental sections for weed control. As you can tell, they were weedy, but we learned what we did wrong, so we will try to do better next year, as we always say, around on the farm. So it's not horrible, but some places were pretty weedy. But then the majority of the field that we did standard on that and that, pretty well clean. So they were just different plots of different weeding techniques and different weed control management techniques and processes. So it's just part of experimenting with new ways of controlling weeds and beans. It's pretty hard to control weeds and beans. All right, well that's it for the night. He's gonna head take the combine up. Take the combine up. I'm gonna grease the 10-hour grease zerks on that thing. Gonna leave this here for the night. I brought a 4-wheeler, so I'm gonna take that up. Well, I think that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one when we start back up tomorrow.